The art of preparing Indian sweets or mithai traces its origins back to at least 500 BCE and still remains a significant part of Indian cuisine. Made with a combination of various ingredients including milk products, fruits, seeds and sugars, these desserts change shape and identity as you move across the subcontinent. Born in East Africa, Kenya, but of Indian origin, Bharat Kumar and his wife Angela set up Bolton Halwa Centre over 40 years ago. Located in the centre of Bolton, they bring age-old flavours to the town's Indian diaspora and have even introduced the local English community to it.
When we were here in 1978, you wouldn't see anyone selling Indian foods. There were no Indian takeaways. A lot of fish and chip shops, maybe the odd Chinese takeaway. So we thought, with the little bit of knowledge that we had, we could probably make a pretty good living out of this business. Over the years, with the experience we gained, the help we had from the Indian community, and our general enthusiasm, we built ourselves up to a very, very good business, which not only benefits us, but benefits the Indian community as well.
In a country where curry houses are a staple of everyone's diet, Bolton Halwa Centre sticks to a more traditional homemade food experience. With this unique approach to Indian cuisine in the UK, we take a look at how this classic Indian sweet shop is still standing. At 8 in the morning, the team begins by preparing snack foods commonly sold in Indian sweet shops such as samosas, chivras and dhoklas, along with a wide selection of sweets including jalebis, gulab jamuns and a variety of barfis. In India, you can find takeaway sweet delis on every corner, but for the town of Bolton, this was a novel concept.
We didn't have enough money to start something like a restaurant, and we thought it was probably safer with the amount of knowledge we had to have something simpler. Yeah. And obviously, the middle class Indian wasn't present here. We were all laborers working in mills or factories. So the spending power of the customer also came into question. So a takeaway was going to be a lot more affordable than a restaurant.
Visiting sweet delis is an almost daily affair for a lot of Indians. What makes Bolton Halwa Centre an authentic version of its Indian counterpart?
I can go back 4 generations to proper halwais in our family. My great-great-grandfather landed in East Africa in Mombasa in 1868, and we can trace our roots back to there, where he opened a little shop for the men that were coming from India to work on the railway lines, and he was feeding them. So a lot of these recipes that I use have been in the family for a few generations.
Traditionally, the halwais were a caste whose occupation was confectionery and sweet making, and one dish that represents these age-old traditions is dhokla. From the region of Gujarat, dhokla is a light, savoury sponge cake. To prepare it, they create a batter with chickpea flour, water, grated ginger, pureed chili, and baking soda, a rising ingredient. This batter is poured into an oiled baking tray, placed in a wok filled with boiling water, and left to steam. Once cooked, the cake is set out to cool. While cooling, a mixture of oil, mustard seeds, curry leaves, chili, and spices is heated and then poured over the cooled and cut dhokla, and it's ready to go out onto the shop floor. The deli employs 7 full-time staff, with part-timers coming in during the Indian festival season. It is run by Bharat, his son Jiten, and daughter-in-law Neelam. Speaking of challenges they face while running the business, he says,
Every day there's a challenge. Yeah, there's either not enough time, there's not enough workers, and the biggest challenge in this country is red tape. And that is one aspect of the business that I don't like. I like working with my hands, I like cooking.
His love for cooking and a desire to give back to the Indian community is what has kept the deli going. An example of this was their role during the COVID-19 pandemic.
We were asked specially to stay open. We were sending out about 100 meals a day.
An integral part of the business is to provide wholesome meals to elderly Indian community members on a daily basis as a way to give back to those who have helped them.
The community that has supported us, had faith in us, and we've always been a part of the community. So in return, now that we're quite comfortable, it's a philosophy that the community that's made us is definitely entitled to a bit of a payback. And we try and do our best with that.
Mr. Kumar is not inclined towards expanding the business. He believes in using minimal technology and skilled labor and feels expanding would mean Bolton Halwa Centre losing its authentic personal touch.
You don't always have to sell, especially foods, cheap. What you have to do is make it really good, and people will pay you what it's worth.